Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan, and today is a what I eat in a day but filmed with a bit of extra stuff to show you what I got up to on this day. And this video is sponsored by Squarespace. More about Squarespace later. This was a Wednesday and it was the day that my Bun Hai video went live, which is around like 9 p.m. I got up around 8:30 and I read for a bit in bed, and then I checked my phone, and then I got dressed to come downstairs to start my day. By the time I got downstairs, I think it was like 9. So lately I've been back on the coffee train, partially because I need it and partially because I bought this giant Costco bag of Balzac's coffee with the Farmer's Blend, my favorite, and smelling these beans every day makes me inexplicably happy. So normally I brew in my little plastic Melita brewer, but I noticed that I was making my coffee kind of taste sour, even though nothing was changing in terms of the grind or the brew time or the amount of water that I added or the amount of beans that I added. So I went back to using the Chemex and my coffee is significantly tastier. Before you say anything, yes, I know that the little strap around the wood is leather. I didn't notice it when I bought it and it was too late when I got home. So I learned afterwards that there are vegan ones sold online, but I bought it in person, so I didn't think to check a freaking coffee maker for animal products. Oh well, damage is done. I drank my coffee and I was sitting on the couch checking my Instagram, answering some DMs and comments, doing the old scrolly, and then I have been reading my book lately. So this was my last book that was on my Kindle. This is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. It is my next book club book and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it was like dramatic romance with a black main character who had fibromyalgia, and it was like normalizing chronic pain, normalizing black protagonists, and normalizing healthy boundaries and responses to trauma. And it was like really refreshing. Also, this book was pretty heckin' steamy, so prepare yourself for that. I had about half of my coffee before I realized I was hungry, so I decided to make some breakfast. I used the last of Eddie's tomato from his sandwich that he made for lunch and made some tomato toast, which includes vegan butter, tomato, salt and pepper. Delicious. And I made some avocado toast. Eddie's been on a bit of a Cobb's bread kick lately, so he's been buying Cobb's bread from a little detour on the way home from work. And honestly, I'm not complaining. It's been nice to not have to bake my own bread. This sandwich bread is a lot easier to make and fit into the toaster than sourdough bread. Granted, sourdough bread is just like another level of deliciousness, but Carter the starter has been chilling in the fridge for the past probably like month or so, and I should probably pull him back out. Wake him up, I poured myself a big old glass of water. That's my bubble tea container is about 16 ounces. So I try to drink about 3 or 4 of those per day. Basically, I just drink until I feel like it. But I was also taking my multivitamin, my allergy pill, and my omega-3 and vitamin D supplement. It's like a vegan omega-3 and vitamin D because vitamin D is typically wool-derived and omega-3 is typically fish-derived. So I don't want either of those. So I have a vegan one. I'll link it down below if you guys want to buy that one. Anyway, so that was my breakfast. And then I went upstairs for a few hours to edit, only to realize how messy my office was and I couldn't really focus without cleaning that first. I mentioned this in my pantry organization video that I've been really enjoying taking the time to clean my living space a lot more since quarantine started. I've always spent a lot of time at home, but a lot has happened since, and I found myself back into some need for control type patterns. And in the past, I've used less than healthy methods of control, but cleaning my house and reorganizing drawers, pantries, closets, and just spaces in general has been really cathartic. Plus, my vanity was covered in an embarrassing amount of dried contact solution and empty contact packages. You also might notice that I have some brands of skincare stuff that isn't necessarily vegan or cruelty-free. I believe Galaxal Base says that everything they have is vegan, and I'm pretty sure they're owned by a company that tests on animals. Same with the Cetaphil lotion that's like kind of blurred off screen there. In the past, I've been able to find vegan and cruelty-free products that have helped my skin, but over the past like year or so, I feel like I've had to go back to using different creams because my skin just keeps getting really sensitive, and I made the discovery that shea butter is actually derived from a tree nut, so it was actually not helping me, and I was like wondering why certain lotions were like working and sometimes they wouldn't work and the magazine would come back. It's because I'm allergic to tree nuts. And shea butter, almond oil, a lot of those things are in skincare products, so especially vegan and cruelty-free ones, so I've had to rely on less than ideal lotions, but that's just kind of like what you have to do to, survive with eczema, and it's been working for me and I'm okay with it for now. Before we get back to the video, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you find yourself needing a website, know that you can make a beautiful and easy website with Squarespace. I made my wedding website a couple years ago within 2 hours using their built-in template and 24/7 customer service because my brain deleted any helpful website building information that I once had, and you don't need that with Squarespace. Squarespace has built-in analytics and powerful blogging tools, and all of their templates are always mobile-friendly and don't require any updates or complicated code. So if you want to get started on Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/VietVegan and use code VietVegan to get 10% off your first order. So after I procrastinated my office a little bit, I then was working on the computer to edit my Bun Hai video. Typically a video takes me about maybe 4 to 5 hours to edit, and then by the time I do like the QC watch, the audio edit, the color, it takes me about 6 hours total. It depends on the video. Taste tests and grocery hauls obviously only take me maybe 2 hours to edit, but recipe videos always take me a little bit longer, especially because in that video I was doing a bit of a different method. But I also tackled some work emails, and then I took a break to do some bullet journaling. Some of you might know that I have a bullet journal / plant Instagram account. I can link it down below. It's Lisa Loves Leaves. I've been bullet journaling and learning how to brush letter for the past couple years, and it's been one of the really nice ways to figure out my feelings, put it on paper, make a creative outlet that isn't necessarily part of my job, and it's been really nice. So this is a quote: "Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go," because I have serious problems with letting things go sometimes, and it's something that I'm working on. I think this was around 2 or 3 p.m. My hunger cues are a little weird, so I usually eat kind of like a late lunch and then I eat a pretty late dinner. But this is the leftovers of Bun Hai that I made in my video, and then I just added some lettuce to eat them as a lettuce wrap, and then I had some kimchi, some leftover greens. Same sort of deal. If you want this recipe, it's linked in the corner. So I actually ran out of the sauce that I would normally use for this. This is the dipping sauce that I normally would make and that I normally have in the fridge. I'll leave the recipe linked down below or in the corner. Because I was lazy, I didn't feel like making the proper one with the garlic, melting the sugar, squeezing the lime juice, all that kind of jazz. So I just kind of winged it and I used some chili sambal, but then I found some white stuff on the chili sambal, which I'm pretty sure is mold. So I just scooped it out and then ate the rest of it and just kind of hoped that I didn't have any issues. I'm pretty sure I did have some issues later on, but you know what? That's fine. It'll be fine. I'm fine now. So I ate my lunch and then I was watching Little Fires Everywhere on Amazon Prime. We don't have Hulu here and that show's only on Prime. So yeah, I watched that, ate some chimes, ginger chews, and worked for a couple hours. So I had a bunch of vegetables from the Asian market and I don't really have a plan. So I know for sure I need to use up some bok choy and some cabbage. So I think I'll do a bit of a stir fry situation, I think. And I kind of want to eat some crispy eggplant. So I think I'm going to use one of these, maybe 2 of these. I'll cook 2 of these up and I'll make some crispy fried eggplant for fun. I also found this wood smoked tofu that sounds so interesting. It's actually yuba skin that's layered together, so it's called suji. Maybe it's not tofu, but it is a soy product. Probably just gonna fry this up and eat it and see how it tastes. So Carmi introduced me to Korean housewife vlogs, and I had no idea how much I loved these vlogs until I watched them. And they're just a super relaxing, definitely not vegan at all, but they're very inspiring in the sense of it makes me want to clean my house. It makes me want to make more elaborate lunches or dinners and wake up early and exercise or what have you. I don't know. They're so productive and so clean, and it just kind of made me feel like a complete schlub for, I don't know, being as anxious and I don't know, homebound as much as I am. I was watching a lot of these vlogs and they are very relaxing, and all the food that she makes is very tasty. Oh, okay. So my knife is also really dull. I need to get it sharpened. So in the meantime, I will just hone it with this honing blade thing. But it really doesn't make a huge difference. After I do this, once I cut whatever I need to cut, it's back to being dull. So I really need to get it sharpened. But anyway, back to housewife vlogs. I don't know what it is about housewife vlogs. I didn't expect that was like a life that I would look forward to or be excited about or would care about. And obviously like gender roles and all that kind of stuff I think are annoying and ridiculous and antiquated, but I just found something so satisfying about these housewife vlogs that they were making all these like elaborate meals. They were cleaning up after themselves. The home that they kept with their partner was very like clean and tidy, and the food looked delicious, and some of them work, some of them don't work, and some of their partners are more helpful around the house. Some of them do their share of work and some of them don't. Luckily for me, Eddie actually does half the chores, if not more, because he does a lot of stuff. But I do all of the food related stuff, which takes a lot of like effort and cleaning every day. And then Eddie also does dishes and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I saw from a housewife vlog, I think this was Cafe 709, or no, I think it was Roja. It was Roja's video where she made crispy eggplant, where she like double fried them and then she put them in like a stir fry, and her husband just like makes the most delightful sounds whenever he eats. He's just like and I don't know if you guys have noticed this from Eddie's taste test or whatever, but he's like not very expressive when it comes to enjoying food, and that's something that is like not like a point of contention for us, but I always seek that validation. And anytime I ask him if something is good, he's just kind of like, yeah, that's good, that's fine, which does not help me. And I guess it's like one of the reasons why I am a YouTuber, because I seek that outside validation when it comes to my food. It was just really nice to see Roja's husband get really excited about all the food that she makes, and yeah, it's just really cute. Anyway, the reason why I mentioned housewife vlogs is because there was one where Roja made this crispy fried eggplant and it looked so delicious, so I emulated the same sort of thing. I used cornstarch and then I fried it, but I don't think I did it right because the oil just seeped into the cornstarch and then it just kind of got soggy, and then it didn't get as crispy as I wanted it to. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I think I just need a deep fryer. I don't know. And then I made this kind of like hodgepodge sauce of dark soy sauce, gochujang, gochugaru, sesame oil, and a little bit of shaoxing wine. This was an okay meal. I ate it. I mean, it was just a way of repurposing some leftover vegetables I had chilling in the fridge. And as for this wood smoked Yuba skin pressed soy product, I really didn't like it. It did taste smoky, which is fine, but I just didn't really like the texture of it. I think it's like different from the smoked tofu that I really like normally, which is like discontinued right now in Canada. I think they brought it back, but not as organic soy, which is like fine for me, but it's like harder to find and it's not as ubiquitous as it once was. So anyway, I poured sauce on the tofu and then I like kind of stir fried the vegetables in some of this sauce. I just kind of like gave up and just added more sauce and added it to everything. It was just like, oh, whatever, stir fry. I don't know what I'm doing. With the remaining amount of sauce that I had, I added a little bit of the cornstarch from the eggplant before, and then I mixed it all together, added the crispy eggplant. It was okay. I kind of wish that the eggplant itself was a little bit more like structurally sound in terms of getting crispy and like soft. I don't know how she did it, how she made it look so crispy and delicious. It was like okay, like strictly like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like edible, not bad, but not great. And Eddie didn't eat this because he doesn't like eggplant. So I think he picked out some of the tofu and then he ate that with rice. But when he came home for dinner, he wasn't really that hungry anyway. So it's fine. It's whatever. I ate all the leftovers and it was fine. So I finished the night off with a glass of Berry 5 Alive. I don't know, Eddie's been buying this a lot lately. I exported my video. I think by the time I finished, it was around 9 o'clock that I uploaded, and then I posted it on Instagram, and then afterwards I played some video games. As many of you know, I play League of Legends, and Eddie only plays ARAM, so I've been playing ranked. I got up to silver 3. Hopefully, maybe one day, well, I will get to gold, but anyway, that is what I did on this particular day. Often I will work until like 9 o'clock at night, especially if I take random breaks or I get distracted during the day, but that's just kind of the workflow, and usually by the end of the day I work about like 8 or 9 hours. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. I know my day is not the most average day and I have a pretty unique job. I am really thankful, and I just thought that you would be interested in seeing what a day in my life is like. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye.